YouTube, it's Ray back with another video for you guys. Today I will be reviewing a palette that I picked up from Target a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you guys can see. Very pretty palette. It's called Starlit Studio Deep Sea Daydream. Got some very beautiful bright blues and corals and just all types of sea colors, which is what the palette is inspired by. I believe the palette was like $9.99. It was very affordable, and I'm also going to be using mostly drugstore products today. So if you're interested in seeing what type of look I come up with, definitely stay tuned and keep watching. If you're not already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I make videos every week. I do wig reviews, I do makeup tutorials, just a little bit of everything, you know. So go ahead and join the family, and if you like this video, definitely like, and y'all can go ahead and just watch me do my makeup. Alright, so now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the eye look, which is going to be a very, well, I don't know if it's going to be dramatic or not, but for what I have in mind, it kind of is a little bit dramatic. So we are going to need a lot of brushes. I have 7 brushes, and we're probably going to use all of these, and then I might even use even more, okay, because with the cut crease it's going to be a lot of blending, and we're using, I want it to be like a dramatic gradient type thing, so I need my colors all to be defined and stay very crisp. So with that being said, we need a lot of different brushes to make sure that everything is very every color is very true to the original color. So we're gonna need some brushes, okay? So I'm gonna go through step by step as I'm laying down each color, and I'm going to tell you guys, because it's gonna have to be very strategic now. So I'm gonna go through each color, how I'm laying it down, what type of brush I'm using, and what technique I'm using to lay down that color. So let's go ahead and get into it. So this is, again, is the palette that I'm using. I apologize, my light is very bright, but that's the palette that we're using. And I want this to be, as I said, very dramatic. So the first color that we are going to go into is called High Tide, and I will let you guys know I am using multiple palettes today because this palette doesn't really have everything I want, and it's a lot of shimmer in this palette. If I have any feedback for this palette, I have used it before, so the shades are great and very pigmented, but if I have any cons on this palette, this is not going to be a throw and go. You're going to have another palette with some matte shades, with more transition shades if you're planning on using this palette, because mostly everything in here is shimmers. I could create a look with just this palette alone, but every time I use this palette, which this will be the 3rd time I'm using it, I have to use another palette because it's not the transition shades that I like, and it's not enough matte shades that I personally like. It is still a great palette for the price, and it's very pigmented, but it's very pretty. But if you like blues, but it's just, it needs, I would say, like, it need another row of just plain. It need another row of not shimmer shadows. I can't think right now, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. I think, and y'all, I'm not a makeup artist. I just do what works for me. I do through trial and error. I'm gonna use this brush to lay down the first color. And the first color that I'm gonna go into is this Hot Tide color. And I don't know if this is the right brush to use or not, but y'all gonna see my technique is what's gonna work. It's the technique, really. Brushes matter, but I don't be having all this stuff I need. I just be knowing how to work with what I got, okay? So we're gonna dip in the Hot Tide, and I'm gonna show you guys what I'm gonna do first. I always gotta hold my breath when I'm doing these cut creases because it be kind of scary sometimes. Okay, so I'm dabbing into the color. Okay, so with the cut crease, like the one I'm doing, okay, this is not the right brush. That's not gonna be the right brush, and I'm mad because I just messed up a brush. Okay, let's try this smaller taper brush. Okay, so we're gonna use the smaller taper brush. So let's see. And what I'm doing is I am packing this color on. Okay, because this is going to be very dramatic. So I'm packing this color like right above my crease, and I'm not rubbing it. I'm not doing any of that. I'm just packing it on. And I'm packing it on like all the way around because it's going to be a half cut crease. So it's like, if I was doing a full cut crease, I wouldn't bring it down, but because this is going to be a half, I'm going to bring it all the way down. Okay, so you should have something that looks kind of like that. So now that we look, I don't know what we look like, but now that we look really crazy, you just want to make sure that both of your eyes kind of look the same, because when you go to cut the crease and we go to finish up the eye look, if this color is the most important color. If this color, actually this color is not the most important color, but it is important. So if this shade is not in the right shape, it's going to throw off the shape for your other shadows, and it's going to throw off the shape for your cut crease, and your eyes are not going to look the same, and you're going to look crazy. So just make sure that both of the shades are the same. Now, both of the shadow shapes are the same. Now, because this color is not as dark as I anticipated, I'm going to darken it up a little bit more because I told y'all we're going dramatic. So I'm going to go in with a black over top of this, and I'm going to use a smaller brush because I want it to be like concentrated in a smaller area. So I'm going to go in with a smaller brush. So I'm not really going to talk too much. I'm going to do the same thing with the black that I just did with the blue. It's just pat the black in and pat it over top of the blue. So you guys can go ahead and watch me do that. And you can use any black eyeshadow that you have. I'm just using a Wet n Wild black eyeshadow that I have. I'm not going to show the palette because it doesn't really matter. Any black eyeshadow will work. I kind of am like smearing it in a little bit because I want it to be like blended into the blue. But normally if I would have put, see, this is what I should have done. I should put the black on first, then put the blue, but I didn't. I thought this blue was gonna be more pigmented, so that's why I'm doing it like this. But normally you would have put the dark shadow on first, patted the dark shadow in, put the blue on top, and then did it that way. But since makeup never works the way that we want it to work, you kind of just have to improvise, guys. You kind of just have to go with the flow, you know? Because makeup it's just be a lot. It's like, it's art. So you, like, sometimes it turn out like what you expect, and sometimes it doesn't. So I'm taking this black up, because I want this to be like very dark, because I want it to be a strong transition between my cut crease. I want it to be very, very dramatic and prominent. And I thought this was gonna be like a navy blue, which it is navy, but it wasn't as navy as I wanted. Like it's coming off like a royal blue on my eyes, and I wanted it to be like dark navy, which is what I'm making it into. Alright, can you guys see the difference of how darker this is than that one? Color, which is going to be like a brown. I love this palette, y'all. I'm using the Siennas palette. You guys have seen me use this before. I really like these Profusion palettes because you get 21 shades, and I think this is only like $10. Really, really cheap. And so I'm going to be using 2 shades from this palette. I'm going to be using this shade right here, Dapper, and then I'm going to be using this yellow mustardy shade right here. All right, so we're going to switch brushes again. And actually we are not. We're going to switch ends of the brush. We're going to use this side, and I'm going to go into Dapper. And basically the idea of like a cut crease or an eyeshadow look with multiple different dimensions of color, you just kind of layering, you're laying the color, and then you go back and blend last. So the main thing is just to make sure that the color, when you first put it on, excuse me while I reopen my eyeshadow palette. The first thing, as I keep saying, is you just want to make sure that this is not gonna work. Wrong brush. What's wrong with me today? You guys, this is why, okay, we're gonna use this brush. This is better. I don't know what I was thinking. I almost just messed my eyeshadow look up. Okay, I ordered some more brushes on Amazon because, like I said, with these looks you need about 20 brushes. So we're gonna go in, actually you need like a more tapered-y kind of brush. So let me see if I can use this one. Because what we're doing is just layering this brown right over top of this blue black. And if you have an even smaller brush than this, that would be perfect, but I am only working with like 8 brushes over here, so we kind of just have to improvise because we don't have that many brushes. But y'all, once I just ordered a new brush set, and it will be here tomorrow, but I wanted to bring you guys this tutorial today, so I didn't want to wait until tomorrow. So that's why I'm just like went ahead and doing it anyway. Alright, so you guys to see what I did. I didn't blend or anything. I simply just laid the color on top. Y'all don't mind my little crusty edges hanging out. Y'all really wasn't supposed to see that, but this hair was not gonna let us have a great tutorial, so I had to pin my wig back and expose my edges for the world to see. Okay, so now that we've got our brown, we're gonna go back into the blue black, and we're gonna like, ooh, child, I'm not letting myself be great today. We're gonna go back into the blue black, and we're gonna like tap in between the blue black and the brown, and we're gonna blend it out. And we're gonna go back and forth, because if we see one of the colors start to fade, then we're gonna go back and apply more. Okay, so all I'm doing, I wouldn't say windshield wiper motions, I'm kind of doing like little circles. Okay, and what I'm gonna also end up doing as well is tapping into both the blue and the black, because I find that it's like going away, and I'm gonna just tap more like right there until I get, and you're just gonna repeat this until you get your desired blend. And your desired blend should be no harsh lines. Back into the brown a little bit. Anytime you see yourself like starting to lose one of the colors, you're just gonna go back in, and like I said, you're just gonna keep repeating this until you have the desired blend. I see the difference, how this eye is blended and this eye is not, and it's okay if it's not all the way blended, because it might be some spots on here that's not all the way blended, but keep in mind a lot of this shadow is going to be wiped off because it's going to be a cut crease. So yeah, just keep that in mind and watch me do this eye. Coming through on one eye better than the other, so I'm just like packing on the brown even more, because I really want the brown to be very prominent. But I also like want it to be blended. Does that happen to you guys where like one eye be looking like exactly how you want it to look, and then the other eye just be like, you're not what I wanted? Does that be happening to me? Okay, all right, so this is as blended as I think I'm gonna get it. So now we're gonna move on to our next color, which is going to be Serendipity, which is that yellow shade right diagonal to that brown shade. And I'm gonna use a very, very, very small brush for this one. I'm actually gonna use like a little pencil brush because we don't have a lot of space right there. And this color is gonna go like literally right above the brown. So yeah. This look is not for the faint of heart, honey. It is for people who like color, who are trying to be bold. If you're not gonna like it. And just be real. All right, so all we're doing is laying down that yellow I don't really have to blend too much because I've already done a lot of blending. I lied, we kind of are blending. We're like packing and blending. Packing and blending, packing and blending. Ooh, I like how that eye looks. Laid the yellow down, I'm gonna go back in with the brown, and because we want the brown to be prominent, so I'm gonna go back in with that dapper color, because again, we want you to be able to see all the colors on the whole eyelid, all the colors, not just some, all. Okay, so that's what we're doing. See how the brown kind of got lost, but now she's back. She back. Alright, now we're gonna go back in with the yellow, and guys, you're gonna do this with every layer that you do. You're gonna apply it, then go back, then apply it, then go back. Welcome to blending. So blending 101, if you want like you want your colors to be very strong and pronounced, you first lay down the color, like you first like pack it on, like pack it. Then you pack on the next color that you want to use on top. You pack that. Then you go back between the two and just tap. See how I'm like just tapping? And you want to make sure you don't miss any spots. And in a minute, we're going to go back with the blue and the brown again. So you guys can just watch what I'm doing. You'll see what colors I'm using because you'll just see what I'm doing. Alright, you guys, after years of blending, I think I'm finally done. How I would recommend you guys getting the best blend on your outer color is just to like take like this yellow and I'm just dragging it down, and that's gonna give you like that faded out look. See how that look? That's what you want right there. Now this eye, I don't know if it's my eyebrow shape or what, but this eye, it just ain't wanting to cooperate with me. Alright, so when you have something that kind of looks like this, we're ready to go ahead and cut our crease. So I'm going to go ahead and clean up this area, and I'm going to show you the process of cutting your crease. What we're going to do is we are going to kind of clean up our eyelid space because I'm using a lighter color, like a much lighter color for the crease, because like I was telling you guys, I want like a dramatic gradient effect between all the colors. So because the color that I'm using is so much lighter, I want that color to be like very true to itself, and you just want to be as neat as possible. Like when you're doing makeup, when you're doing hair, when you're doing anything like this, you want to be like as neat as possible, because you just don't want anything like potentially affecting like the outcome of your finished product. And I have cut the crease before where I have not wiped off the shadow and it was still fine, but you guys, like, we just took forever to blend. We don't want to like mess up our cut crease or not have it look like as good as possible because we didn't do this extra step. So, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but you just want to like start cleaning off kind of like where your shadow is gonna go. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect, because if you trying to get it all perfect, you might mess something up too. So it don't have to be perfect, just like kind of like a little guide. All right, so that's good enough, because this is gonna be a half cut crease anyway, so that's good enough. Okay, so we're gonna go back into this palette, and I told y'all, y'all hope this look right. I hope this look right. Do I want to use, I'm trying to make sure I really want to use this color, because y'all, with makeup, you be thinking something gonna look right, you be having it mapped out in your mind, and then it just fails. Like, I really hate when it happens. I really want to use, let me put my mirror down. I really want to use this color, y'all. I really want to use this color. Here, let me show y'all. Oh, it's not coming off pigmented. What? Now, I just raved about how pigmented this was, and this thing ain't even pigmented. Can y'all see? Y'all can't see. You can see if I do it like that. Kind of want to use that one. Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go into this color right here, which is called Deep Dive. We gotta cut the crease first and foremost. So I'm gonna be using this e.l.f. Camo Concealer again, and we are going to use a very, very flat, the brush that you use for this is very important, because if you don't use the right brush for this, it's gonna fail. Okay, so I'm not even gonna tell y'all what I used to use. If y'all go back on my earlier videos, you can see what I was doing, and it was not all the way right. So we're gonna use this brush right here, which is just like a flat brush, and it's gonna help us. This is what you need. All right, so when you're cutting your crease, go higher than what you think you need to go. Not so high, but like right there. Can y'all see that? That's where you need to go. That's gonna be your sweet spot. And I would recommend starting off a little bit lower than that, so that if you do mess up, you have a little bit of wiggle room. And then we're just gonna like fade the concealer off, because it's gonna be a half cut crease. See what I did right there? Easy, right? And just take your time, because the last thing you want to do is like mess up all your hard work. Makeup takes time. Like, people be thinking that you could just like rush it, and you really can't. Like, you really need to take your time, sis, because you don't want to be looking crazy. Like, take your time, map out the colors that you want to use. Think like, okay, is this gonna come off into a gradient like I want? Like, is this gonna look right? Because y'all, I was hurt the other day when I had thought that I had me a little look, and I didn't, because I didn't map out the colors right. All right, so now that we have our crease cut, we're going to take a different brush, which is like a flat packer honor shader brush. I don't know what the names be called. Just a brush that is flat that look like you could pack some color on with. Is what we're going to use. And we're going to go into the actual shadow that I was telling you guys about, which is Deep Dive. Excuse me for reaching. My stuff is behind me. Y'all, I hope this look right. I hope it look right. Oh my God. What if it don't? I'm gonna be sad. I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be hurt. I think it's gonna look right, y'all. I think we have a winner chicken dinner. Okay. Y'all. This don't look right. I'm gonna be mad. I feel like it's cute. I feel like it's cute a little bit. I feel like it's a little bit cute. So now that we've packed the blue on, we are going to go back into the blue black color, and we're going to like blend in these edges. And I believe I'm gonna add a little bit more black because I want it to be like more darker on the ends. And you're just gonna like push the colors like over top of each other. Like, see how I'm just like tapping both the colors at the same time to blend? That's what you need. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna finish. The eyeshadow look was the main focus of the video because I wanted to show you guys how to blend your eyeshadow properly and how to do a cut crease. You guys can continue watching, and I'm going to do the rest of my face. I'm going to speed it up, and I might add some liner, and I probably should add some more dramatic lashes because I have lash extensions and they're not really like doing anything with this look. So you guys will see the finished look of what I come out with. Just keep watching. guys, I'm back with the final products. I added some lashes over top of my individuals. I added a strip over top of my individuals. I put some mascara. I attempted to add some white eyeliner to the bottom of my waterline, but it turned light blue. And I added eyeshadow. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Overall, I think this is a great little palette for $10, especially I've been looking for like some very vibrant blues for a long time. So if you're looking for some vibrant blues, some nice shimmer colors, I think this is a wonderful palette. Will you need an additional palette for your transitions? Yes, you will. But it's still an amazing palette, and I do recommend it if you want to try some new drugstore makeup. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video on how to blend your eyeshadow. I hope I delivered on what I said that I was going to do. And thank you so much for watching. If you're not, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you a part of the family. And I'll see you next time. Bye.